Please ball right there.
On hitting a near side ball, one of the most important things to do is probably to try and get the top part of your body as cross onto the other side of your horse as far as you can, where it's comfortable, and then taking a page out of Julio Ariano's playbook, try and get your one of the best things that you watch him do is he gets his whole top part of his torso or his shoulders almost onto the other side of his center line of his horse. So almost trying to, you can keep your bottom part of your body doesn't have to move that much. You can keep your grip there, but it's really important to sort of crunch your tummy and move your right shoulder as far over across the center line of your horse, so that you can give yourself the best opportunity to try and hit the ball on the near side. An instructor from back in the day, one of Peter Grace, one of his ways of doing it was to get your right elbow to try and get as close to your left elbow as possible, or at least past your left elbow if you can. And if you watch somebody like Julio Ariano, he will actually almost get his elbows to go past each other, and he'll get to the point where he's actually still holding his horse in the right place, but he'll get his right elbow so far past that he'll give himself the best opportunity to try and hit the ball. And the biggest thing in the near side, the reason you try and do that the most is because the biggest thing on the near side, the only time you're really hitting a near side is when you actually got somebody on your offside marking you on your offside. So if you've got somebody marking you on your offside, the most important thing to do is you're trying to move that near side to give yourself another shot at the ball. You really want to get over is because you're going to try to move, and almost you're going to have to cut every time you hit the ball on the near side. You're going to either be hitting it straight or at least cutting it away from your body, so that you find this with the amateurs a lot of the time. The biggest mistake they make is they don't move themselves or their body or their top torso over enough, and they end up naturally being lazy, getting halfway, and end up with a sort of an outside in motion. And then what ends up happening is they end up hitting the ball back to the person that's hitting the ball, where that's marking them. So what you're trying to do is, what happens then is you've got to try and cut the ball. Even if you're hitting it badly, you're trying to actually cut the ball away on like this. So the most important thing is to be able to get yourself way over, open your hand, keep your hand open, and you almost want to push the ball away from yourself. Because if you have a chance to hit the ball on the offside, hit the ball on the offside. It's the easiest shot. It's the shot we practice the most, or hit the most. We're probably more comfortable on it. So what you're going to try and do is constantly keep you try and turn your top torso over as far as possible, and then just by opening the inside of your hand, keeping your mallet head open enough to where you can actually just push the ball away. Probably even easier if you can actually hit a little bit in front of you, and what happens is it'll give yourself a shot. It always gives you another shot. You're only going to have 1 or 2 shots on the near side before the guy either rides you off or you've got to take a shot at goal. So the idea is to keep yourself set properly, and then tuck your tummy in a little bit, crunch your tummy muscles as tight as you can, get over in front of the ball, and then open your hand a little bit and hit the ball away from yourself like that. A great drill for this shot is to take a ball and just do circles to the left and hit that ball over and over again away, hitting it away from you on the near side shot, and just keep your horse on your left lead and hit the ball on as many times as you can, or just do circles, and it gives you a good idea of how you're going to want to play that shot during a game. It's great practice for yourself before you play a game, and like I say again, most of the times that you're playing that shot is because you've got somebody on your hip on your right hand side, so you really want to sort of focus on pushing the ball away from you, so that you're never going to give it back to your opponent that's marking you. So one of the drills we're going to do is take a ball and just knock a ball around, always to pushing the ball away from you, making sure that it goes, you know, you try and make circles, or make sure that you focus on pushing that ball away from your horse's body. So you can start off, you can get comfortable. If you have to start off at a walk, the idea is try to get your as a rule of thumb, think of your elbow, and just keep that ball moving away from your horse. It's probably one of the most important shots you're going to hit, because it's one of the shots, especially offensively minded, that you're going to be moving the ball away from you. One of the other things that Peter said, which is also a really good thing, is he used to visualize pulling a rope from a bell. So you sort of get yourself into a position, and the only thing you have to think of is once your elbows are got across, you visualize you pulling something like a bell that's in a bell tower, and you're pulling that rope. All you're really doing is you're pulling that rope down. So you don't really have to think too much of where your body position is. To get that power through that, all you got to do is then pull this ball with this mallet straight down through the ball. You're also sort of hitting just the inside of the ball. So when you're looking at the ball, you're looking just the inside of the ball closest to you, and you're trying to push it away from yourself. That is probably the most played near side shot you're going to have, and then obviously the other one that you've got to focus on is, you know, if you're going to take a shot at goal, most of the times you're going to be pushed away from the center of the field. So then the other thing that you've got, other than that shot, which is really important, especially for amateurs, the other shot you're going to have then is a shot on goal off your near side. You're going to be ridden off on your offside. The other shot you're going to have is that shot under your horse's neck. And one of the better players I've ever seen play that shot is Pablo McDonald, and he has a great way or great approach of getting to that ball and setting himself up with the least amount of movement. Somebody like him or Javier Novillo Estrada, you don't really want too much movement. It's not like the offside where you have somebody taking a pre-swing swing or whatever you want to call that. And one thing that you see both those players do is, especially Pablo, you'll see Pablo, he'll stand, he'll be arrived to the ball, he'll sort of drop his mallet sort of in the direction he wants the ball to go, and be eliminating as much movement as possible just to get the best shot on the ball. And all it is then bringing that mallet head down on the ball. So if you're trying to hit it at a 45-degree angle, he'll sort of let his mallet sort of lean over in the direction that he wants to do, and then all he's doing is pushing it through that original line, keeping the whole mallet in the same plane that you started with. You can even put your thumb on the end of the mat, on the inside. Not many players do that, but you can still do that if it's more comfortable, and gives yourself a shot. There you sort of moving that ball away, you know, a little bit closer to the front of your horse's nose, and all you're really trying to do is pull the same thing as on the near side, pushing the ball away from you. This way, you know, you'll take it like this, and all you're doing is you're pulling that club head through and through the back of the ball.